Hello, friends. Welcome back. For those who are new, I'm Kat. I'm a wife, a homeschool mom, and an avid reader. This weekend is a little bit different for us than the past couple of weekends. We are under hurricane watch today. Hurricane warning today. Ivan is supposed to make landfall sometime around 2. And maps have shifted a little bit, so it's not going to hit us straight on like we thought when we went to bed last night. But it's shifted north to hit more the Myrtle Beach area instead of the Charleston area. But we're still going to get a lot of rain, a lot of wind. And so we're going to have a little hurricane party around here. Those of you who are on the East Coast and have dealt with hurricanes, you've heard of these. It's just when you hang out and I know sometimes people invite their neighbors over or whatever. We're not going that far. We're just gonna have our own little introverted hurricane party at our house. It's my daughter, my husband, and I. And my plans really, other than making sure my daughter does her schoolwork, my plans really are to finish my TBR, or as much of my TBR as I can. My reading in September using the Bookopoly-thon TBR game, I ended up with 11 books. And I have 3 full ones left and one I'm in the middle of. So it's a better than normal reading month. Because I have 8 finished books, or 8 books that I've gotten through. But I still have 3 to go. I guess that makes it a normal reading month. But I'd like to at least finish The Deal, which is the 8th book I'm reading. That's my mood read. I went ahead and chose the literature book club's book for that one, and I'm so sleepy. So I'm gonna finish that book today and maybe start another. I'm kind of leaning toward Winter's Promise to finish today, or to start if I finish The Deal. So that's kind of where I'm at. I know I'm rambling already. But yeah, we're gonna just kind of have a very chill day, and I figured I'd bring you along. The biggest kind of risks that we have for Charleston area is we're gonna have a lot of rain. And if anyone knows Charleston, South Carolina, you know, as my husband puts it, if too many people flush the commode at the same time, Charleston floods. But we're gonna get blasted with a whole bunch more rain, and it's gonna come on kind of quick. We're already under flash flood warnings until I think it said 12 p.m. I've already deleted that, but I'll double check those the emergency warnings. So we're under flash flood warnings. We'll have some wind, even if this hits further up north, because this storm is pretty big. It is a Category 1, so it's not going to be devastating for us like it was for those in Florida. Our thoughts and prayers are definitely with them, because this is not a fun situation once it hits those major hurricane winds. And it was nearly at a category 5. So we'll just kind of wait and see and go from there. But right now, I think it's raining a little bit. So we'll have flooding, we'll have the wind, we may have some power outages, but we have a generator, so we'll be okay in our house. But we're just gonna kind of go with it and pray for the best. But yeah, so I'm gonna read the deal, and kind of just run through my normal day. Otherwise, we're not going out anywhere, which is kind of unusual for us. We normally have something going on outside of the house at some point during the day. But everything's canceled today due to the storm. So here we are. We are a category 1, and we're safe right now. Everything's calm. Around 2 o'clock is when landfall is supposed to happen, so things will get a little more chaotic until then. But that's where we're at. So I will check in soon. So I've just done my Bible time, and I have the news on in the background over here next to me. I have found the 5 a.m. updates. We are a Cat 1, sustained winds of 85 miles per hour, and currently Ian is moving at 9 miles per hour in a north-northeast direction. And so we're just kind of waiting, looking at, they have a power outage tracker up right now. Right now everyone is pretty good, and we'll see. This is still about 100 miles off the coast, so things will change as we get later in the day. And we're just in this weird waiting period. This is the one thing that kills me with hurricanes, is all the waiting. I grew up in California, and people around here fuss at me for saying it, but I think it's more just because of what I'm prepared for. I'll tell anyone, I will take an earthquake over a hurricane any day, because I know exactly what to do. There's not the long periods of waiting and watching and everything. I'm thankful for that hurricanes don't just pop up, and that our area is well prepared for a hurricane. You know, the houses are built different, all of that. As I was saying, we are with earthquakes. I don't have the forewarning, so my anxiety can't ramp up. So it's kind of one of those situations where I know that our area is not built for earthquakes. We are built for hurricanes, and so people get upset when I say I would take a earthquake over a hurricane any day. And I mean, I get it. We're not built for that. And I guess when I say that, I don't mean as our area is now. I grew up in California. We did earthquake drills more often than we did fire drills in school. Just because it was more likely to have an earthquake in our area than it was to even have a fire. At least at the time when I was younger. I don't remember all the forest fires growing up that it seems that they have now. But The so all this let's watch and wait feeds into my anxiety, and so I always have to kind of keep that in mind with my self-care and everything increasing during hurricane season, especially when we're tracking a storm. But this storm is category 1 and 85 miles per hour, sustained winds. I can hear the wind outside in gusts. And the rain, it's only 8:15. Landfall won't happen until 2, and so as we get closer to 2, it's going to really get much stronger. And it's that wait and see type period right now. So that's what we're doing. We're waiting and seeing. The first half of this hurricane, before it actually makes landfall, will be the most powerful, the most dangerous. On the west side of a hurricane, the winds are the strongest. And so we get hit with that first. Unlike Florida, since it came up in through the Gulf, they got hit with the weaker side first. But we're just gonna wait it out. It's not at a category 1, it's not as damaging to our structures, like of our houses and stuff. We may lose a few shingles, but we're not gonna lose our roof. We will get flooding in the area, but our house is on a 3-foot slab, and at the highest I have ever seen the waters is still another 3 to 6 feet from our foundation. So we'd have to get torrential, really, really bad flooding to worry us. When my daughter was younger, we would evacuate even for category 1 or 2 because of the flooding. Not because we were really worried about the storm. And it would just be her and I who left and go to my parents' house. Whereas my husband would stay here and keep the house safe and be here if anything happened beyond that. So we just kind of go with it. But this category 1 will deal with flooding. We may deal with some power outages, so we'll get all of our devices charged up now and spend that time doing that kind of stuff while we have power. And just kind of go from there. I'm hoping that some of these ramblings do make sense for those who know the area and whatnot, because my brain is not clear yet. I haven't even had my coffee yet this morning. So I think that's what I'm going to go do next, is get some coffee, get some breakfast, make sure devices are plugged in so if power does go out, we have something to entertain. Otherwise, it will be a really long few hours / days. And we do have the generator, so if power goes out for a while, we can, definitely fire that up and take care of that. I have different news reports going on over here, which is pulling my eyes over there. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna go make some breakfast and kind of go from there. And I'll talk to you soon. As you can see, we're kind of calm right now. Not a whole lot to report. There is some wind if you look out there in the distance. My trees here in the yard aren't really picking up too much, but the taller trees are getting a little bit. But right now, just some gusts and some rain, and we'll go from there. It's just 8:30 this morning, so still in the early stages. I brought the dog out to go to the bathroom before anything gets too crazy, but I did want to show just the rain we got last night has parts of our backyard flooded. Our backyard is partially what's called pluff mud, which is that swampy soil, and so it retains the water and keeps the backyard kind of squishy a lot longer than some of the other stuff. But we do have some gusts moving in. You can see it a little more in my backyard than in the front, just because our backyard is surrounded by the trees. But we've got everything kind of cleared out, battened down, and we are ready for what's coming, or what's expected to come. So that's kind of all I have for the moment. So it's about 9:45, and things are really starting to pick up in the wind. Not really a lot of rain for us at the moment, but the wind gusts are definitely picking up, and it's kind of a little dreary and dark, kind of perfect reading weather. So I'm just gonna take it as it comes. So this is where we're at just before 10 o'clock this morning. It's just after 10 o'clock. It's 10:05, and apparently the rain is beginning now for real. We have reports of some friends further inland who are already experiencing power loss. So we're just kind of hanging out. I've done all my work for today, and my daughter is working on her schoolwork, so I'm gonna get to sit and read just a little bit before I'm needed for anything. Oh, it looks like, I don't know if you guys can see, but just there in the background beyond the white truck, some of our neighbors' chickens are out, I guess, scrounging before they hunker down before the storm gets bad. So I guess that's kind of a sign that it's not quite as bad at this exact moment as it could be, since the chickens are out wandering around. Hopefully they go home before anything gets really bad. Our ditches look like they're filling up. We'll see what happens in the next few hours. It's almost noon now. So it's about 12:30. We're gonna eat some lunch. And we're just kind of hanging out still. The storm has started to really pick up. And we are seeing the sideways rain in gusts that you see that come with the hurricanes. We've had the lights flicker several times. We've had it go completely out for less than a minute once. And yeah, we're just kind of hanging out right now. Not a whole lot for us to do. They're, again, doing warnings, saying flash flooding is coming. Our ditches are filled. Our backyard is definitely soggy, and we have some pretty big puddles back there. So we're just kind of hanging out. We're going to eat. In the next hour and a half, we're really probably going to see the worst of it. And then once it moves on land, it'll start to dissipate. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. I've read a little bit. We are watching TV right now. While we can. So that's about where we're at. Family's called and checked on us, made sure we're okay. We've checked in with family here, made sure that they were okay. And we're just hanging out. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. The lights are flickering again. So it'll kind of be hit or miss for the next couple of hours on updates, but hopefully after lunch I get a lot of reading done. So I'll see you soon. It's about 1 o'clock. We have hard rain, big gusts of wind. The ditches are filling up. They haven't been breached yet though, which is good. It may be that our little corner doesn't flood this year in this storm, but we'll have to just kind of wait and see. We've got a lot more rain coming. And that wind is a bit chilly, cutting through my sweats and stuff. But we are starting to get some standing puddles of water in the yard, and we're just kind of hanging out. We've got about an hour before landfall, and then things should start clearing up. But first off, we got to get through this part, and then I'm just hopefully going to get some more reading done this afternoon. We'll see. So here we are. It's 2:15 or so. It's still raining, but it seems that it's draining well. I'm not sure if you guys can see it without the camera getting wet. My neighbor's chickens are out again, and they just kind of wander this little corner of the neighborhood. But yeah, so we've got rain. The wind is calming down now. This is, if it hit as projected, or made landfall as projected, we're technically at landfall time. Oh hey, there's a rooster over there too. I didn't know they had a rooster. Anyway, so yeah, we're just kind of got some gusts of wind, rain. I'm at like 57% of my book now. I started at 40% this morning, so I've gotten 17% read today so far. I probably can finish it tonight. I won't get another book started though, more than likely, just because I am a little more distracted with all of this than I expected. I've been trying to keep an eye on the weather reports to see where everything's at right now. It's a lot of North Carolina's emergency reports going out today because they're going to get hit in the morning. The hurricane's going to downgrade to a tropical storm and then move up into North Carolina overnight and into the early morning tomorrow. So yeah, this is a hurricane party for us. Not a whole lot going on. We're just hanging out.
Share that 4 additional counties have been added to the major disaster declaration for assistance, and as we continue to survey damage, we expect that number to grow. I want to once again urge.
So here we are. It's 5:20. We have a little bit, kind of water in the yard. Some leaves everywhere. A few branches down, looks like. But otherwise, we did okay. Made it through. This is kind of just the remnant of what's left. We've got some sprinkles. But yeah, we have a little lasting flooding, and I am curious to see. I had this bucket, and oh, yep, they're okay. We have this bucket here, and inside are tadpoles. I didn't want to just dump them out and let them die, so I left the bucket there in hopes that they would survive, and it looks like they did. We end up with tadpoles every year, somewhere or another in our yard. A lot of times they end up over there in that puddle at the end of the shed, and then they don't make it during the summer and when it gets real hot. So we don't usually see them quite as big as these guys here, but there are some good sized ones in there. So they survived the storm all right. Fun little things that happen when you live out, or when you have outside stuff in your yard. We're not even addressing the pool because that thing is gross. But we made it through, and gonna go from there. I am 73% in my book. You can see a little flooding there. The dog's checking out all the sound or all the smells that came through. But yeah, so we have gotten through so far all right. Had a few power fluctuations, but other than that, it was a pretty good day.